Good morning and welcome to the USA Cares podcast. I'm your host, Matt Castor. I am joined as always by Alexis Becker. Good morning, Alexis.
Good morning, Matt.
Are you ready to go?
Always.
Are you? Oh. So you're just faking it because you're still asleep?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
All right.
Wednesday. It's kind of chilly, but not chilly.
It's not too bad.
It's that weird, I don't know.
Well,
it's cold but warm.
yeah, that's Kentucky weather in December. That's the way it is. You'll be fine. I have to remind you that all the time, but you'll be fine. So you can do it. Not a big deal. Hey, I'm excited about what's happening with this podcast.
Are you?
It's exploding in listeners. All those people we say, hey, hit that subscribe button, they're actually doing it. So I'm pretty excited about that. 24 countries are listening at this point. People from all over the country. And thank you. Thank you to everybody who's made this part of your weekly routine. We hope that you'll continue. We hope that you give us some feedback. You can always email me directly, matt@usacares.org. Let us know what we're doing well. Let us know what could be better. Let us know if there's a topic that you want to hear more about. We're interested in giving you content that is helpful and meaningful and hopefully inspiring. If you are new to the USA Cares podcast, this is a podcast all about veterans. This is a chance for us to celebrate those who have served our country so well for all these years. And it's kind of our way of giving back. There's a lot of service members who come out. Alexis, you know this.
Yep.
It's not always an easy transition.
It is not.
And if we can give them a little hope and a little guidance and some tools along the way, that's what we're here for.
Just make that transition a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a little bit rough. So last week was great. If you didn't hear, well, I think it was last week. Maybe I'm getting the time messed up. But Nick Black.
Yes.
Nick was on. If you didn't hear the episode with Nick Black, he's the founder of Stop Soldier Suicide. A very powerful episode. I thought Nick did a great job, and I really appreciated some of his stories. I think he related to a lot of people that we deal with.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of good in the community too. So
Absolutely.
it's exciting to hear
Absolutely.
his story and share that with us.
Yeah. So you and I are kind of, relatively newer to USA Cares.
We're still new.
Yeah.
New-ish. I'm still new.
Right.
You'll be coming up on a year there
before
soon.
too long.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because we've both come into this organization, and it's a great organization, and we're excited to be a part of it and help veterans who are in need. But it's really wild to hear some of the history and hear some of the companies and some of the people that have come along to help make it what it is, especially over the last 5-10 years. And today is a good day to learn more about that.
Sure. You know what those are called?
No.
Force multipliers.
You were just dying. Oh my goodness. You've had that written down, waiting to use that term for I don't know how long.
But it's so true. It's so true.
What is a force multiplier? Let's go ahead and talk about that since you're dying to use it.
So it's all the other tools that are working together to amplify an effect, basically. in so many words. And so we've got all these great organizations and companies working together towards one common goal. And the more we're better together, the more we band together, I don't know.
And I believe our CEO, our president and CEO, Trace Chesser, encouraged you to work that into this podcast somehow. And now you get your gold star and you can move on. And yeah,
nope,
absolutely.
I'm going to use it forever.
Oh my.
It just applies in so many different ways. It's not only a military, science term. It's also, there's a book called Force Multiplier.
Oh my gosh.
It's wonderful.
Okay. Moving on.
Okay.
So today is an exciting episode because we get to celebrate one of the companies, one of the organizations that helps us do what we do, and some of the people that come out of the woodwork and really just go above and beyond to help our veterans. So today we're talking about our partnership with Abound Credit Union. And their president and CEO, Mr. Ray Springsteen, was kind enough to join us today. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on and putting up with us this morning. We appreciate
it. I'm thinking of all the ways that I'm using force multiplier in this conversation.
Oh my gosh.
That is an additional force multiplier now.
This is Trace Chesser's fault because he said you gotta figure out how to use that in the podcast.
And I have.
Once we start talking about credit unions, this better together concept. That's what credit unions are all about.
That's it.
I will definitely be using that. Thanks for bringing it up today.
Well, you need to email Alexis and just let her know, hey, I used it today, and you'll make her day. So that's fantastic. Well, Ray, I was, just talking about this. This has really been an eye opener for me this year. Coming into USA Cares in March, we've done so much throughout the year, and I keep hearing the name Abound Credit Union over and over and over again, and it's because you guys keep stepping up and helping. Obviously, you have a passion to help veterans, but where does that come from? Where does that? How did that originate within Abound?
I think the history of the credit union, I think, is a big part of that. So we were actually founded in 1950 on Fort Knox by 10 veterans.
Wow.
And this is how the story works. And not to overuse better together, but this is how it started.
Yeah.
10 veterans, each with $100. They pooled their money together to create this $1,000 financial cooperative. And their whole reason for creating this was, first, you don't create a credit union to get rich. That is not the reason. There's no shares to own. Everyone is an owner of a credit union.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing to sell. So their whole reason for creating the organization was to help the community, help veterans in particular, those that didn't have options for financial services or limited options. And that's what they did. And I think that's just that root of our history, these 10 veterans continuing on and building the organization, again, from those original 10 to today.
Wow.
It's 120,000 members. And instead of $1,000 cooperative, it's a $2 billion cooperative.
That's crazy.
All founded right here in Radcliffe.
That's a true American success story. I mean, it really is. That's the grassroots beginning to building it to what it is today. That's really amazing.
And I think that's the very neat thing about credit unions, and in particular this credit union, because it was designed to be able to support veterans and the community as it has grown, the community surrounding Fort Knox, to really make the community a better place to live and work. And I think a big part of that was being able to work with organizations like USA Cares, who do this incredible job of being able to support veterans in our area, and love the fact that we've been able to develop this partnership with.
So let's talk about that for a second, because that was the exciting part to me. And in my time with nonprofit, organizations give money, companies give money to nonprofits, and that's great. And that's what I figured, I assumed, which you should never do, Alexis. I assumed that's what you did. You gave us a check and then we went on our way. But you do so much more than that. And what you guys have done is that you've really made your members a part of this whole program. Would you talk about that and kind of how that works?
Yeah, and so I think there's a couple of aspects of the connection with USA Cares. One absolutely is the financial connection. There's no question, right? $60,000 or so a year.
Yeah, absolutely.
The credit union and its members contribute to USA Cares, right? And I think that is, a big part of USA Cares' mission is around long-term financial stability.
Yeah, absolutely.
Certainly aligns with what Abound is trying to do to improve members' financial lives, and a component of that is going to be financial. And what the credit union does, along with members, is members have the option to be able to donate to USA Cares in a small amount when they join the credit union.
Yep.
The credit union also contributes, but it is a way that it turns this into not just a one-time event, right? It turns it into an ongoing value to USA Cares and to veterans in the community. And I just tell how this aligns to other things that we do, right? So we use a lot of stories here at the credit union, and I think a lot around how they relate to sort of financial support, financial stability. So we had a member, she was right in Hardin County. She was 7 months pregnant, right? So she comes in and she happened to have an auto loan. She came in for another reason. She had an auto loan from another financial institution at 23%, right? And you think,
wow,
how does that happen, right? But I am sure USA Cares sees this all the time. We
Mm-hmm.
certainly see this, right? There was no real reason for her to have a 23% auto loan from anywhere,
Right.
right? This was just lack of understanding. But
Yeah.
so what? And right, if I have to do plumbing at my house, I have no idea what I'm doing, right? I mean, I'm not in the business, and so it's completely understandable that
Yeah.
that's going to happen. So with this member, what we were able to do, it was a short conversation to understand what her situation was, and that 23%, she just refinanced it with us at 5%. Right? And so
Unbelievable.
that was, and so then the financial stability part of it was roughly about $6,000 based on the size of the loan that she saved over the life of the loan.
Wow.
But here's the ongoing part, and I think how this relates to sort of the ongoing relationship with USA Cares is the question always is, so what is the chance of her, this member, or her future daughter, her daughter's now born, of ever getting a 23% auto loan ever again?
Because they know better now. They know better.
That is exactly it. It's zero, right? It is unlikely it's going to happen. And I think that is the stability really around helping a individual wherever they go in the future is that's just not going to happen any longer.
That's
and
it.
That part of their life is, I think, provides more stability ongoing for their family. So I think that's a big part of who we think we are.
That's huge. You know, we've talked a lot. We've talked a lot about young veterans. Let's say they join the military, they go in at 18. All of a sudden, they're getting paychecks larger than anything they've ever received in their life. They're making money for the first time in their life from the Army, and they'll go just off base and they'll buy a car that's way too expensive, and they'll, at a ridiculous percentage rate, or they'll, spend way too much. Trace Chester talks about spending like $2,000 on a speaker system for his car back in the day. That's those are really wise investments that you make before you know better. And, what you're offering is huge because you're going to save a lot of people from having to dig themselves out of a hole.
And I think we see that. I've worked for one other credit union also that supported the military. And this credit union actually happened to support the military in Germany. And to your point, the story, it was, the Harley Davidson and the BMW.
Yeah.
I would love one. At 19, I'm not sure if I needed something like that, right? But and I think, but those types of just misunderstandings, right? Just missteps. It's normal part of life. Is it can stick with you for a while unless you sort of learn some of the ways to avoid doing that. And I think that's where we see our role. Certainly, we see that role with USA Cares, and I think that ongoing beyond the financial investment, right? The $60,000 a year it's the training and that additional support to help individuals just understand it, right? It's and I think that's a part of where we see our role is especially helping people, whether it's in schools, which we do that on Fort Knox today. Our programs with ECTC, which is, I think, an amazing local college that does a lot of work with veterans, where we just partnered with them on their Purple Heart Scholarship program. Or with those, as you pointed out, those transitioning out of the military. We had we have this program called the Veterans to Entrepreneurs program. And there's individuals they might be transitioning out of the military or they're out. And in our communities here, right in Hardin County, is what makes the community so good is veterans who stay here, start businesses or run important programs, associations. USA Cares happens to be a great example of that, right? And it just makes the community a better place. But to that point is this point around better together. It is our Veterans to Entrepreneurs program like that. So we think we're experts, and I make a case we are at Abound, but we're also even better when we bring in veterans who had previously started businesses who are really successful to also present, which they do.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah, you guys just had one of those, and Chris Cruz, our Kentucky chapter president or executive director, was on that last month, I think.
Yeah,
a couple months
it
ago.
was. Yeah, we did
great.
right around Veterans Day, and we have a number of amazing leaders in the community. In particular, a person who started a local running store, who he has presented at a Veterans Entrepreneurs Program. Will Rivera.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's
I'm a big
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, hey, I'm a big fan of his. He has the local running group, so not only does he provides education, he also brings people together.
Nice.
And so,
do you run with him too?
Absolutely.
Oh, there you go. Good for you. Well, this is also important because for those of you who may not know our organization and what we do, we get requests every day. I think, I'm thinking just yesterday, I think we got something like 42 requests for assistance from veterans.
Wow. In one day.
It's
hundreds a week.
And these aren't, hey, I could sure use a couple bucks. I'm getting ready to lose my home and I need help right now. I'm going to be evicted within the next 24 hours. I need help. I don't have any food for my children. I need help. So these aren't, well, if you have time, can you throw me a couple bucks? These are, I'm at rock bottom. I need help right now. And that's great. And we will give them, if they qualify, if they are truly a veteran, if they meet the criteria, we will certainly help them, and we will help them very, very quickly within 24 hours. And we will get them the money they need to stay in their home, to keep the family together, to make sure they have food. We will take care of that. But Ray, to your point, the fear is that you can Band-Aid it for right now. But you and I both know if we don't do something more than that, they're going to be right back in that situation in 2 months, 3 months. And what are we going to do to stop that? That's where programs like yours, this financial literacy, makes all the difference, because we don't want to just Band-Aid it. We want to set them up for a successful future. And that's the remarkable thing about Abound and what you all are doing, is that you are helping to keep families solid.
And I think that is we get to see all the great things that are happening and just some of the challenges. And I think that's where we've really tried to invest in the right education for members at the time, and the community at the time that they need it.
Yeah.
And it is an education in schools. They're right there, right? I can get in front of 100 fifth graders and I can figure out a way to get them to listen to me.
Yeah.
With adults, it's a little different, right? And it has to be at the time that they need it, in a little bit different type of setting, to be able to help ensure that, one, they want to hear it,
right?
And it's something that will.
Well, the ladies are always willing to hear it. The guys are a little more stubborn, but that's another topic for another episode.
By nature, right?
You're right. And so but I think that's why we do it. And some would argue that maybe you're doing this for people in the community that maybe are a little young, right? We do this for, in some cases, late elementary and in middle school. But we think that there's even just some basic understanding of wants and needs starts you out on that path of being able to make those decisions. And so we have some programs that we do there. For mine, I do this a little bit. I've done this a couple times with fifth graders over the years, and so that it's
that's gotta be
his needs are very different in fifth grade. I have a fourth grader, and I don't know that he would understand. Like his needs and my needs, and needs versus wants would be very, very different.
Yeah, I'd agree, and I would agree.
No, he doesn't.
It is just a start. Yeah, and I think it is a start on it. Like there's being able to pick the right topics that individuals are willing to digest, whatever sort of situation they're in, or sort of time in their life that they're in.
Do you talk about Robux? Robux? Because if you put it in those terms, I think he would understand.
I don't even know what that is.
What is that? It's okay.
What is it?
It's real dumb. It's like a little game.
Video game.
And you.
Oh, is it?
Yep. You buy.
Okay, I feel old because I have no idea what that is.
Miles has like 1 million Robux. He's like, I'm rich. I'm like, you're not. Yes.
Well, that's good. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I think it's. I think it's really important. That's the part of USA Cares coming in that really gave me hope for us having a long-term lasting impact on these veterans and their families, is all of this, and hoping that there were organizations that would really come alongside and bring those experts that you talked about, Ray. Bring the experts and help us put this all together. And that's what Abound is doing. So that is awesome. And we've been working together for a number of years. The money is nice, but the end result is the best thing. So
Thanks. And I think where we see additional opportunity is the connection between this financial health and the physical health, and sometimes mental health. And that's where we're continuing to build this out. And there's oftentimes someone has gone through a very difficult time, and a lot of times it's health related. Those are some ways that we're looking to work with other partners and continue to build the program to find additional ways to support and so I think there's an example of that. We had a member who he came to us with something like $23,000 in sort of these personal unsecured loans, not with us, but with a rate. You can imagine these rates, they get up 30, 40%, right?
Wow.
They're enormous.
Wow.
But it's the story behind the story on that, though. So he was a little bit older member in this area, and he had a daughter who was a single mom and a grandson who was ill, and the health insurance was not all that clear, right? And so if you have a grandson who's sick, right, you're paying whatever, right? That the money is not enough. You're just fixing it, right? I want this fixed now, and I don't care.
Yep.
And that's essentially what he did, right? And so it's not like he's going and buying frivolous things. He had a serious challenge, and that needed to get fixed.
Yeah.
But then he comes to us with the situation of this high amount of unsecured debt with a very high rate. He's got a payment, $800 a month. Now he needs that fixed. And so that's oftentimes, which we do, and we certainly help with that. But I think that's oftentimes is, how do you get to the root of that? I don't necessarily have the answer on that.
Yeah.
This is something we're exploring, and finding the right partners like USA Cares. You are experts in finding veterans to support, is how we would be able to do that also in our community on the health side of things.
What are you most proud of with the credit union? What are you most proud of about what you do? What is it that really fires you up to go do what you do every day?
I mean, you're hitting on the topics here, right? I mean, and so I think this is where, from a perspective of, we have roughly about 300 team members here. This is the thing that drives the culture, right? Is that while there's the aspect of very traditional financial services that we do offer that we think are amazing and make a big difference in members' lives, I think this is really what the founders of the credit union had in mind, right?
Yeah.
Is that they did this, they created this credit union to be able to make Kentucky better. It's a very strong financial institution. It's been strong since way before I got here, right? But it is, and so I get the opportunity to continue to help the organization kind of share our strength with Kentucky and be able to make it better. And I think, I've lived in Kentucky now for going on about 12 and a half years or so. And I love living here. I think it is a great place to raise a family. And I want to help it, right? I want to help the community. And I think that's it's nice to be in an organization like this credit union where we get the chance to do that.
Absolutely.
I mean, how lucky is that?
Yeah.
Right. So I worked in big cities before coming here. Right? I'm going in, I'm taking a train to work. I'm on the 15th floor of some building, and I'm not really connected with anything else. Right? It's here I have the opportunity to talk in situations like with you all and others, and really be able to talk about the great things that I think this organization is doing be able to make a difference.
That's fantastic. That's what it's all about is people using their tools, their talents to really make a difference with nonprofits. If you're out there and you're thinking, I don't have a lot of money to give to a nonprofit, I don't have a lot of money to give to veterans, this is a conversation you need to hear today, because this is a way where people are using their talents, using their energy, using their skills to really go out and help the veteran community. And you don't have to be a credit union. You don't have to be a large company. You can be an individual who just has a passion and a heart to give back. Give your time, give your energy, give those talents that you have, and contribute in a way that only you can.
Yep. I always say time, talent, and treasure.
Time, talent, and
Yep.
treasure. That's it. So what's next? What's next coming up in 2022? What's going to be happening with Abound? What are we going to do together, Ray?
So we think that there is some opportunities to better explain and reach members in the community, right? And so it is right now we're talking about ways that we can help create some opportunities for members in the community. Some of this is we've done this in very traditional ways, right? Whether it's in a school, which is a part of what we do, or in various community groups. But we think there are better ways to be able to communicate that and hit members at a time, or those at a time when they're most likely to be able to digest the information. And so that's a more broader way of explaining where we're going with this. Yeah, I touched on the physical and mental health and financial health and that connection. But I think there's other ways that we can reach our members and those in the community to be able to further this conversation. So I think that's where we're going with this. And it's we're excited for the future of the credit union.
Yeah.
We're really excited for the community that we live in. I think it's in my 12 years here, I've just seen it continue to get better. And to be really just such a great place to be able to live and work. So that's what we're excited for 2022.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. And you talk about this community, we don't always mention, this is kind of weird, but we don't always mention that when these podcasts are recorded, it doesn't always come out right about when, it doesn't always come out the next day or even the next week all the time. And right now, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the way that the community is coming together in Kentucky to support all the people that are hurting right now after the tornadoes that we've had, in the communities that have been destroyed and the lives that have been uprooted. And it's going to take all of us. It's going to take all the nonprofits, all the Abound Credit Unions of the world, all the companies to really stand beside our community and let them know we're here and we're willing to help. And when you talk about the community in Kentucky, it really comes alive in moments like this.
And really just to keep the theme of Better Together going, is we had right on Saturday, right after the tornadoes we had begun to understand what was going on. Our credit union, along with the 60 other credit unions in the state, banded together right away. And we created donation programs through our Kentucky Association for Credit Unions, called the Kentucky Credit Union League, to begin to invest in those communities. So we have, including financial investment that we're doing in Warren and Taylor County, where we have a lot of members. We're also working with credit unions across the state to be able to help financially, and just the things that are in need right now, like tarps, the plastic containers, water, all those things to be able to help figure out.
Well, that's what we hope. That's what we hope happens, is that it doesn't forget all the competition, forget all the this credit union is better than this credit union. It's about everybody coming together and really serving their community. Good for you. That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. But to those of you who are hurting out there, to those who know people who are hurting, just know there's so many people who want to help you. And this is a very tight-knit community. So many great organizations. If you are somebody who wants to help the communities, it's going to take a long, long time for them to come back and rebuild. So give a financial gift to one of the great organizations that's doing work around there, whether that's the Red Cross, whoever that is. But give some money, help out. I think it's really important. So I know the timing may not work out on this episode, but
That's
I wanted
okay.
to at
I
least
mean,
mention it
Yeah.
because it is important. But
It's an ongoing effort. So
It
I
is.
think, like you said, it's going to take a while. It's not going to just be cleaned up in 3 days.
Right.
You know?
right.
So,
Well, Ray, I want to first thank you for being on here and talking a little bit about Abound and our partnership. I look forward to this partnership going on for many years to come, and we're going to help a lot of people together.
I would agree. Thanks again. I really appreciate y'all having the credit union on and me on. And it was certainly great talking with you. And again, we love the opportunity to be able to work with USA Cares and really looking forward to the future.
Oh, it's our pleasure. It truly is. Say hi to Grant Simpson for me, would you?
I will right after this. I definitely will.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ray. We're going to have you on again. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
All
Thank
right.
you. All right. See you.
So, Alexis, we got a lot of stuff coming.
we do.
Talk about that for a second. What do we have coming up? What you giving me that look like I wasn't supposed to say that?
I don't know.
So we've got a whole calendar of stuff that's going to be coming up for 2022. We are hard at work. USA Cares. We are determined to make 2022 the best year we've ever had as far as helping our veterans. We're going to help more people than we've ever helped before because there's more need than there has been in a long, long time. And a lot of veterans on the verge of losing their homes. If you're like us, we're kind of like, you know what? We're not okay with that. We want to fix that. And we're going to do it. So we're expanding rapidly across the country. And, you know, with all these chapters we're adding, I think we're going to have something like 30 some odd events around the country this year.
Let's hope more than that.
I hope more than that. I like that attitude.
I like
That's
that.
good.
At
That's
least
good.
30, but more.
Yeah. So I hope everybody will check us out at usacares.org and keep watching that events page and see some things coming up. Get involved today. You know, reach out to us and let us know that you want to be involved. If there's a chapter in your area, join it. If there's not one, start one. Reach out to us and let's get one going. So Jenny Davis on our team is hard at work getting those chapters set up and helping people become members. It's a very easy process and it's a great way to help. I want to talk for a minute, or I would ask you to talk for a minute about Justin Thomas Foundation.
Yeah, we then we got some great grants from them and were able to purchase a whole bunch of toys, and we delivered them down to Fort Knox a couple weeks ago. And it was a really fun experience. I've never been to Fort Knox, and you know, Justin Thomas has a true heart to serve, you know, the military and especially like kids. Any organization that helps kids, he keeps those really close to his heart. So we thank you so much for partnering with us and allowing us to deliver those toys and put some smiles on kids' faces.
Absolutely. Somebody else I want to make sure I mention is Cardinal Moving and Storage. If you're in the
Yes.
Louisville area, and this is not a paid advertisement or anything like that, but I just want to let you know, these people keep reaching out saying, how can we help? How can we help? How can we help?
Before we even know what to ask for, they're like, we'll do it.
We'll do it.
Pick us.
We'll do it. You know, we were sitting in a meeting the other day,
Mhm.
you know, trying to figure out how we were going to get a certain project done. And it was like perfect timing. They
Yeah.
call us and say, hey, do you guys need anything? Is there anything we can be doing? Unbelievable.
As a matter of fact, yes, we do.
Absolutely. We'll always take it.
Yeah.
So Cardinal Moving and Storage, if you're in the Louisville area and you're needing some help, reach out to these people. They're doing a lot of good things to help the veterans in your community. And if we can support them in exchange, then we want to do that. Big shout out to the Speakeasy Podcast Network.
Yep. Our buddies,
Oh my goodness.
favorite, everybody.
They're our buddies. So they help us so much putting this podcast together. And if your company or organization needs a podcast or wants to really figure out how to do this, these are the experts. These are the pros that you need to get involved with.
Or if you want to make your podcast better, come to them.
Yeah.
Because if you're not a podcaster,
That's a good point.
They will really help you grow. I mean, I'm not. I'm not.
You started out, you couldn't even talk
I
on
know. I
this
was
thing.
like, hey guys.
Hi, guys. And now look
and
at
here
you.
we are. And who's to say that I won't take this over completely in 12 years.
So move that podcast out of your garage and
Yes.
into the Speakeasy Podcast Network and let them help you out.
Yep.
What is their website?
Speakeasy podcast.
Robert, you're going to have to
Network.
help us. Help us out.
SpeakeasyNetwork.com.
I don't know why we can't get this right. There it is.
Yes.
SpeakeasyNetwork.com. So
Yes.
check them out today. If you are new to the podcast, hit that subscribe button. Make this part of your weekly routine. We would love for you to join us every week. We have all kinds of stories about different ways that we're going to help the veteran community. We have lots of veterans on who share their stories. And if you look back through all the episodes, there's a lot of powerful stories in there and a lot of people who are offering great support. So thank you all so much for being a part of this. We're honored that you spend this time with us, and we look forward to speaking with you again soon.
Thank you.
Bye.